Hello, my name is Michael Jager. I'm a consultant for my sins, and I find the best way of learning something is to teach. So here I am making a little video about something that I'd like to learn a bit more about and to become more conversant with, and with some of my friends who've asked me to do this. So here we go. I'm going to teach you about Microsoft Dynamics, 365 Business Central, or NAV, whatever it is. It's finance. So this is recurring journals in finance. So I'm going to show you a few things, a few little tricks that I've learned over the years, and I hope it kind of makes sense to you. It's not something that is normally done by people who are consulting. It's normally done by those in accounting, and so for us consultants, it's always good to find out, and users, of course. Now, recurring journals. Let's talk about recurring journals. It means that they happen, and there is a certain method in the madness, and that is that there is a recurring frequency as well as a recurring method. So let's just go across and have a look at the slide and see what it says. So you have a few different options here. The very important one, of course, is the first one, which is fixed. The amount on the journal line will remain after posting. What does that mean? That means after I've put my line and I've posted the journal, whatever that was, £1,000, for example, that will be there when I come back to my journal. So that's quite straightforward. It's a very strange process, but it works like a bomb. So variable, what does that mean? That means that the amount on the journal line will be deleted after posting. So if you've got a variable thing that maybe it's a certain cost that changes every month in your system, then of course you need to use the variable. Then the balance. The posted amount on the account on the line will be allocated among accounts specified in the line in the general allocation table, and the balance on the account will be removed. So what this means is it takes the balance out of the GL account that this is assigned to and turns it to zero and puts it somewhere else. Reversing journals, exactly the same thing, reversing, recurring, and the same methods apply. So what we're going to do is we're going to move across to the system now and just seeing is believing, and so let me show you exactly some examples of how this actually works and how these different methods can be used by you. Of course, I can't teach you everything, but I'm going to teach you exactly which buttons to push to get it to do whatever it is that you need it to be doing. So let's go to the system, and first thing we're going to do is search for REC. Recurring General Journals. There it is, and I'll just click on that link, and so here we come. Now we use the same layout to do all of these, and we click this recurring method drop down menu, and we select the first one, which is fixed. Now we need a frequency, of course, and that frequency can be anything: 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, 1 year, every quarter, whatever you want it to be. Normally in recurring journals this is done on a monthly basis, and normally at the end of every month. There are exceptions to the rule, of course, in everything. So the first example, I'd like to show you how we post on a monthly basis. Therefore, I'm going to use the formula 1M, and I'm going to add plus CM. So 1 month plus the current month, because I wanted to post on the last day of the month. If I just put 1M, what it would do, it would post on, let's say, for example, today was the 28th of February, and I put 1M, it would post next month on the 28th of March. And of course I don't want that. I want it to post on the 30th of March. So by adding current month to the formula, that means the system will post exactly on the last day of the following month, which is perfect, exactly. So I would like to post on the 31st of March. Right, so there's my formula, 1M plus CM. Perfect formula, absolutely. The posting date today, of course, is very important. It's a very important function because you need to understand that posting date in this scenario means the lines will only post where the posting date is equal or before the working date. Working date? Where's my working date? Here it is here. My settings, and there it is, right in front of you on the 1st of April. Okay, so that's my working system date. So therefore, I need to post on the day before. Right. Is that right? Yes, of course. So I would change that to the 31st of March. Would be 31st of March, the day before I want this actually to go down, right? So I'll change that to there. A document type can stay blank. But document number, I need to put something in this box, because the document number is very important and it's a good reference to have. So, right, so here I'll just call this, what should I call this? REC001. And now, GL account. Which GL account are we posting from? So that's going to be, let's say, rental expenses. So here we go. I'll just take that as rental expenses. I'm going to put an amount here. So every month I'll pay my rent. It's £1,000 or $1,000 or €1,000, whatever you like to be. So now that's it, done. Second line. Now I need to create a balancing line, because in accounting we have a balancing line, and so I'll use exactly the same frequency, 1 month plus 1 calendar month. Yes, just checking that the recording is still happening. I'll keep the posting date exactly the same. The document number is exactly the same because we're referring to the same document. And now the account number, this is the balancing account that I'm going to be using. So I'm balancing my account on the checking account, and this would be then a minus 1,000. Right, so this is the credit. So don't be foxed in NAV. Minus means credit and plus means debit. Righto, so there we go. So first the debit and then the credit. That's how we do it. Everything's got, just remove that posting. They don't really need it in this such a scenario. So now the recurring journal is ready to post. Let me just make 100% sure. So there we go. So if I post these lines based on this frequency and in this example, what I should end up with is a change in the posting date, and the value in the amount column should stay exactly the same. Okay, let me just hide these columns here so you can see get a better view. So we can see, there we go. Now we can see the amount. Perfect. Right. Okay, so that looking good. Right, and what's next? Okay, so let's just go here and post this. Post. Do you want to post the journal lines? Yes. Hit the yes button, and everything's been done successfully. So there we go. That's it. Now we come back and have a look. You'll notice that the amount still exists. So it's ready for next month's posting. And I don't have to come and write this stuff again all over again next month. The posting date is changed to the 30th of April, which is perfect. And so I'm ready for next month, which is the very last day of the month. So, right. If you try and post now, you'll get this error, nothing to post. And that's because the posting date set on these lines is after the working date, beg your pardon. So it needs to be on or before, right, the posting date. And you would normally post this on the last day of the month, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So this is all set and ready to go for next month. Now you may have hundreds and hundreds of lines, but never mind. So the next option is to use the variable option. The amount on the journal line will be deleted after posting. Exactly the same as fixed, apart from the fact that the amount in the journal column will be deleted after posting. So let me demonstrate this quickly. So we'll change this to variable, and we'll use exactly the same recurring frequency, which will be 1 month plus CM, sorry. And let's change the posting date to the 31st of March. Oops, sorry. Document number changes now because this is a completely different document, and the account number we're going to be using, we're going to do some depreciation operations here. We're going to calculate depreciation manually. It's normally done automatically, but for this demo I'm just going to use this scenario. So what can they do here? So we're going to take a look at the depreciation account, and in this scenario I'm going to post the depreciation on the positive side first. And the reason why I'm going to be doing that is, and I'm going to start by entering the accumulated depreciation. As I said, I'd like to allocate my depreciation expenses to different departments. Okay, so I'm going to do this using this account here. Right, let's go to do that. Just select that one. So each department's going to get an allocation of a percentage. And a percentage will be allocated of this particular expense. Let's say quite a big one. This is, you see, it's a minus, and it's going to be 32k, right? Okay, that'll do. We just removed that posting there, and now I'm going to show you how to use the allocation. So instead of entering a second line, in this particular scenario in variables, I'm going to go to my allocations and click allocations, and we need to select account because we are now allocating these expenses to different departments. We could do it by quantity or percentage. In this scenario, we're going to do percentage, and I think we'll do something like, I don't know, 20% or something like that for the first line. So let's do, first of all, we're going to set the account, and depreciation equipment is going to get the posting account we're going to use in the chart accounts. And we're going to move across here, and we're going to put in 20%. Where is my, there, right there, okay. So let's enter the percentage, 20%. That'll do. And then second line, we're going to create second line. I'm going to go, now what we need to do is we need to define the department that's getting the 20%, and we do that by using dimensions. So we go to dimension department, and then dimension value. So the value would be the department specifically, and that would be admin. So admin's getting 20% of that. Now, next, we will do same line again, depreciation equipment, and we'll just remove that posting. We don't need it. And what else? And here, I'm going to do, what, 50%? That'll do. Okay, perfect. Right, now, back to dimensions. Which department is getting the 50%? The lucky department is production. There we go. So production, you guys are going to get the biggest chunk of depreciation costs posted against your budget, and we're looking at 30% for the last one, and the last one's going to be, last department in our scenario here is sales, of course. So sales will be, there we go. So sales close, and so that's it. Fully allocated. Now let's go back and have a look at the recurring journal, and so that's 100%. Of course, everything has to add up, and we go back here. You'll notice in the allocation amount column there's a value of 32k. It's a plus value, of course, and so that's a debit amount, and my credit amount is 32k. Right, so we're good to go now. Now we can post this, and what will happen now is we are posting our depreciation expenses by dimension using the allocations by percentage. So when you come back and have a look, you'll see that this is a variable method, recurring method, and so therefore the value in the amount has disappeared. Right, next, balance. This is a very special one. Total amount or the total balance of a specific account will be drawn in total out and posted to another account. Okay, so that's by the bottom line. So let me show you how to set this one up. And so you set up here and you select balance. It's an interesting one. The same recurring frequency. We'll just put that there. Should be 1 month plus 1 calendar month. No, sorry, calendar month. It's exactly the same. 31st of March again. We put that in here. It'll do. Same GL. So in this case, we're going to use the expense account. Suppose I would like to balance out miscellaneous expenses to other accounts, for example. So I would just remove that again. Blankety blank. And in this case, we don't need to put an amount in the amount column, because remember, balance means it's going to take the entire balance out of account 61500 and post it to another allocated account. And in balance, we have to use allocations. There's no way around it. You can't use a second line. You use an allocated account. In here, we will put an allocated GL account, and you can use the dimensions as well. It's the same as we did in the previous example. The process is exactly the same. Right, so after you've posted, you will notice that I haven't posted in this particular one, but I'm running out of a bit of time here. So I'm going to go on to the next scenario, which is the reversing, and it's just, if you want to, oops, there we go. Okay, so let's just go to reversing. We're going to try reversing fixed, variable, and balance. I'm not sure. Let's do the reversing variable. That would be quite good. The amount on the journal line will be deleted after posting, and the balance will be posted on the next day, which is quite cool. So looking forward to showing you this one. So let's just select, there we go, RV reversing variable. Okay, the frequency exactly the same. Posting date 31st of March. It's a clean document, REC 004, and in this scenario, I would like to search for an accrual account. It's just, let's do something here. Okay, so example, accrued salaries and wages. Let's do that. So I'm going to take salaries and wages, accrued, and we're going to use 15K. That should do. That's enough. And this particular scenario, we are going to create a second line and 1M plus CM again. And same there, same document. And now we're going to select the balancing account, which will be our salaries expenses account. Let's just remove that again. Don't need it. And the value here would be the 15K, the minus 15K, right? That's your credit. Okay, so that's how it normally works. First the debit, then the credit. The credit's on the balancing side, and so good to go. We will also, and the system will now, so reversing means that the initial entries are posted on the 31st of March, and then the reversing entries are posted one day later. So on the 1st of April, they'll be posted, right? And remember, this is very important that you post on the last day of the period so that you use here the recurring frequency with the current month added to it. Okay? So let's give it a try. So if I click on post, you'll see you want to post these. Yes, I do. Click, boop, and everything's posted nicely, which is great. So now let's go and have a look at the results, because this is where you actually see how this thing works. So let's go to the GL entries register, beg your pardon. Okay, the GL registers. The GL register, very powerful area of Dynamics, where you're able to come in and have a look at how accounts are adjusted and what's actually happened in this particular system. Right, so there we go. So I'm just going to, let's just sort by posting date. All right, then it explains. So on the 31st of the 3rd, I'll just close that so you can see the amount. You can see that the initial posting was for 15K, and then the balancing amount was in there, put in there, and then it was reversed on the 1st of April, and that is exactly what I was hoping that it would do. So that's very cool. That's all worked very nicely for me. I'm very happy that that's the way the system has worked. So now you can see that the three methods are very interesting, and we go back to our journals again, and you can have a look at reversing. And so let's just give you one quick last quiz, and you can see that it's all interesting, and the value in the amount column has now disappeared, and that's now down to a big fat 0. So hopefully that's been of some use to you, and you've seen the example of how things are reversed and recurring journals. So very interesting part of Navision, and or Dynamics 365, whatever you like to call it. Things I've moved on. If you use a different version, I've just used a generic version here, a USA version of course, but if you're using 365 or NAV 2016, 17, 18, the system hasn't changed. Nothing much has changed over the years. So it's the principle is exactly the same. Finance is finance, like I said in the beginning, and we're all good to go. So hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.